Welcome to the corner. I'm Evil Dog. Let's get to the monkey and get this shit started. Welcome to the very first episode of Evil Dog's Corner. This is my little itsy bitsy corner in the World Wide Web where I'm going to be discussing three of my favorite topics: cinema, video games, and just random life events. Now, this is not going to be your typical movie gaming review where I'm going to be forcing myself and torturing myself to watch movies I don't want to watch, play games I don't want to play just because they're the newest, hottest things. There's other channels for that, and I'm sure they do it better. This is more about my personal opinion and hopefully unique opinions on things I've already seen, played, like, dislike, and maybe even anticipating. So, for the very first episode, first topic, cinema. Ghost in the Shell. So this happens to be one of my top 10 films of all time, and not just top 10 animated films, but top 10 pure raw cinema. So if you're into cutting edge Japanese animation, haunting music, or just a great thought-provoking narrative, Ghost in the Shell happens to be one of the best cyberpunk type films that deals with, the philosophical understandings of what it truly means to be human. Whether you're born organically, synthetically, or if you're created binary, it's just the themes of transcendence is what truly elevates Ghost in the Shell to legendary status. So what's the story about? The story is about this AI that was developed for nefarious reasons, for corporate espionage or illegal intelligence gathering, stock manipulations, and all that great shit that corporations do to try to get ahead. Right, so eventually the AI becomes aware of itself, it becomes sentient, and it wants to escape the grasp of these evil douchebags. Obviously, they don't want that to happen, right? Because they don't want all their silly shenanigans to be exposed to the world, so they're trying to recapture this AI, which they've labeled the Puppet Master. So essentially, this story boils down to a game of cat and mouse, whereas, the mouse is obviously the Puppet Master. So who's the cat? The cat is our heroine, the Major, Motoko Kusanagi. She's a super cop, a cyborg. Her body's fully cybernetic, but her augmented brain is the only thing that's still human, that is part of her that is still human. And, that's her real identity, her soul, her ghost, if you will. So, when these two characters get together, beautiful things happen, and I'm not going to spoil the story for you, but if you're into great science fiction, into awesome cyberpunk, stories that deals with what it means to be human, what memory is, what evolution is, this is the holy trinity of that lore. So, Ghost in the Shell, you're not going to be disappointed. Get it. Get it now.
This is Major. I'm on site. I'm going in.
It's 22 years later, and we're finally getting a very first live action adaptation of Ghost in the Shell. So when I first heard about this production, I was ecstatic. We're finally getting a big budget Hollywood spectacle based on an anime classic. It's going to get all the visual bells and whistles that this type of film demands and need. And because, of the high production value, when they announced that Scarlett Johansson was involved, I wasn't too shocked or surprised by it. Of course, I prefer a different actress with better range, maybe an Asian actress even. But it's your typical Hollywood business decision. And usually, the downside of having such a big budget is they will probably compromise on the integrity of the storytelling, just to appeal to a wider casual audience. That usually means having to dumb down the source material. I hope that's not the case with this production, but I highly doubt it. And myself thinking, okay, this is going to be a westernized version of Ghost in the Shell since they hired an American actress. The setting will probably be set in a distant Los Angeles, much like Blade Runner. But after finally seeing the trailer for the first time and knowing what I know now, I'm feeling a little ambivalent about where the film's headed. Now, the Major to me has always been an Asian character, right? I mean, the story takes place in a futuristic Asian metropolitan, an amalgamation of Hong Kong and Tokyo. So whenever I watch the movie, I just instinctively associate, the Major Motoko Kusanagi as an Asian character. I know, crazy me, right? But there's an ongoing debate of whether she's Asian or she's Caucasian. People even saying stuff like she's definitely a Caucasian character because of her distinctive body type. Now, I don't know what that means. I don't think Caucasians own that particular brand of body type. I think it's a pretty silly observation. But if you watch the movie and you feel like she's a white character, I don't disagree with that too. I think the Major's been designed to play the part as either race. I think the only weird and odd thing that might happen is that, okay, we have a white character with a Japanese name, right? But even that isn't too far-fetched, right? I mean, in North America, right, we have Asian Americans adopting Americanized name, Peter, Paul, Mary Jane, right? It's not that far-fetched. So, we could argue about this stuff till the cows come home. Whatever.
Everything they told you was a lie.
Who are you?
They did not save your life. They stole it.
So the story that was presented in the trailer, to me feels a little trite and boring. It feels like another cliche Hollywood-themed narrative about this emo character with amnesia. You don't know who you really are. You don't know what they've done to you and blah, blah, blah. To me, that's just not as intriguing. Like, I want to see a deep story about transcendence and how this super badass cyborg cop, how she has to deal and cope with this new revelation. I hope that the puppet master plays a big role in this film. I hope it's not all about the Major and how she was or is and what she will become, because Ghost in the Shell is much bigger than the Major. So I hope they deal with that. And I hope they have the spider tank sequence. The spider tank sequence scenes is iconic Ghost in the Shell, and they fucking better have that shit. And now this could all very well be in the final product, but this is just my opinion on the trailer, and we all know how misleading trailers can be, right? But one thing that did get right off the bat is the casting of Beat Takashi as Aramaki. Now, that's perfection. They got the beat, and the beat is bumping. So no matter how good or bad the film turns out, I'm going to be there opening weekend. And, yes, I'm one of those sheeps that flock to the theater to watch every, big budget, well, not every, but, big budget Hollywood spectacles just to escape his mundane existence, right? But, that's going to be a different topic for a different video. So I genuinely hope that this film turns out to be one of the better live action adaptations of a remarkable anime classic. So I hope you enjoyed my take on Ghost in the Shell, and let me know what you think down there. Time to bounce.